Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. Man, we got a great episode for you today on June 13th, 2022, man. Oh my gosh. I know you seen Steph Curry in Game 4. Of course, obviously that's the headliner, but Steph Curry in Game 4, I didn't get a chance to post a recap. Usually I always do my recap videos right after on the Instagram right after the game, but I didn't get a chance to do so. It's Friday night, and you know I ain't gonna explain everything. If you really want to know that bad, you're gonna have to call in and ask. That's the only way I'm giving that out. Just call 219-413-9405. And as you can tell, I may be a little bit under the weather, but hang with me. That ain't stopping a thing, because as Draymond Green said, y'all gonna get this podcast. Y'all gonna get this podcast. But no, man, hey, Steph played great in Game 4, but this is not about Game 4. We got to keep looking forward in this series, right? Now we're looking at a completely new series here, going back to Golden State for Game 5. It's a best out of three. A best out of three. And as I've been saying for some time now, one of these teams are going to have to win a back-to-back. Whether it be Golden State winning Game 4 and Game 5 and then maybe taking it in 6 or 7, don't matter. Or Warrior or the Celtics winning Game 5 and Game 7 or Game 5 and Game 6. Somebody's going to have to win a back-to-back in order to win this series. It's just that simple. And it's tough because, again, as I've been mentioning, the Celtics, they haven't lost a back-to-back since January. The Warriors, they're just a good bounce-back team. And after a performance like Game 5, they have a lot of momentum to win game. Or after a performance in Game 4, they have a lot of momentum going forward to Game 5. And it's dangerous. I think that this is the momentum they need, and this is the momentum that is going to take in order for them to win an efficient back-to-back. So if we're going on it like that, I am going to pick the Warriors to win Game 5. I do have the Warriors winning Game 5, just strictly based off of the performance that Stephen Curry gave in Game 4. He had 43 points, 10 rebounds, shot over 50%. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to give that same exact type of performance come Game 5. Now, granted, we may see it because it's Steph Curry. He never fails to amaze us at all. So we may see it. But that's not the reason. The reason is because of the momentum shift. The momentum shift. When you go back to Golden State, everybody on that team who played besides Steph Curry, at this point, you cannot fail to let that man down. He's been carrying this team game after game after game after game. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. He's been giving his all, doing everything he can. And now that they're back in Golden State, there's no excuses about anything. There never has been any excuses. But at this time, these guys have to rally together in order to help Stephen Curry. That's going to be the main difference if the Warriors can actually pull off Game 5 at home, or if they'll lose, is if Steph Curry is going to get the help. Because as we know, it's no secret. It's no secret that they want to guard Steph Curry and lock in on Steph Curry. And it's only going to get more and more difficult for Steph Curry to do these type of things as the game goes on and as the series prolongs. But other than that, I don't see anyone else from the Golden State Warriors helping Steph Curry in them losing the game. Unless someone from the Celtics has a tremendous game, or unless the bench guys have a magical game like they did in Game 1. That's the only way. But if Steph Curry gets help in game 5, then the Warriors will come out on top. They'll come out as the champions. In terms of Game 5, possibly the champions as well. I mean, I picked them to be the champions, but the Celtics, you can never count them out, of course. And the Celtics, something I figured out with them is, it's not necessarily the guarding Steph Curry that's killing them. Obviously, you can't do much about Steph Curry if he's putting up 43 or 53% shooting or whatever it was. You can't do much about that. But what they can help is their offensive skill set and their offensive ability to score the ball. That's something that's huge with them, because I noticed even in Game 4, they played a pretty good game. They just so happened to lose because of a great basketball player named Steph Curry. But when you look at the previous games, the only time they have won games is when Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown was either over 20 and they had help from bench guys where 4 to 5 starters were in double figures, or if there was someone else and there were at least 2 people that had 20 plus points in the game with bench support. Celtics are a well-rounded team. They are a great basketball team, but no one player on that team can lead them to a full victory. It has to be a full team effort, and that's the only way that the Celtics can possibly take Game 5. They have to give a full effort. They're going to need that help from the bench guys. Jason Tatum's going to have to play better. Jaylen Brown's going to have to continue to play well and play consistent as well all through the game, all through 4 quarters. And obviously, you can never count the Warriors out until you win the 3rd quarter and obviously finish the game. But that's going to be huge. The 3rd quarter is the quarter to watch. That's the main thing you want to watch if you don't watch anything else from that game. But yeah, man, as far as the Warriors, I got them winning Game 5. It's going to be tough. Obviously, this is a huge momentum shifter here for Game 5. But I think they can do it. They just got to give Steph Curry some help, man. They got to give him some help. But anyway, we got more coming up. Zion Williamson talking a max deal. We got some news as well coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Now, you know, just because you're busy doesn't mean you got to be stressed. I'm crazy busy right there with you, but it can be easier. Next time you're on a run, just make it more fun and listen to The Run with Manny Wilson. It's The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run, the Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to The Run, man. We got some news for you today. So news for The Run. Sabrina Ionescu of the New York Liberty has become the youngest player in the WNBA to record multiple triple doubles. Floyd Mayweather was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame on Sunday after his undefeated career. Kenny Atkinson, the Warriors assistant coach, has agreed to a 4-year deal to become the new head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. And Zion Williamson doubles down on wanting to stay with the New Orleans Pelicans by saying, "I do want to be here." That's no secret. And the Pelicans, at this time, man, they're expected to give Zion Williamson a max deal. Now, some people may question this because Zion, he missed out the whole season last year. He didn't play anything due to a foot injury. And the year before that, he played 61 games, which is a little over half the season. But to sum it all up, 85 games total in 3 years. Some people may say, well, that's not max deal worthy at all. I'm not giving an injured player a max deal when he hasn't played a full season. He's going to turn into Ben Simmons. And I can't blame you for thinking like that because obviously that's a huge concern. Zion's a former number 1 pick. And you look at his numbers now in terms of what he was averaging. They look great because he never finished the full season. And I don't want to take away from him being a great player, but we've seen what kind of player he can be. And for the Pelicans, I think this is actually a smart move. Now, typically, I'm against people getting max deals to hurt people, but it's a good deal for the Pelicans. And I say that because they have such a supporting cast right now, and all they are missing is key pieces. They already got Brandon Ingram going crazy. CJ McCollum is there. Valanciunas is going crazy. And you add another threat like Zion Williamson, if he can just come back half as athletic as he is, with half of the skill that he has, and plays hard with intensity, he's already going to be a huge difference maker for the New Orleans Pelicans. Just because he's huge. Man, look up his weight. Zion Williamson. I think he's like 285 at 6'6" or something like that. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And this guy can move. He can move. There's no secret about that. So I think it's a good move for the New Orleans Pelicans. Giving Zion a max deal. You just want to make sure that he can actually be healthy. Damn him wanting to be there. We know he'll want to be there, especially as long as they're winning. He was drafted to that team. They've gotten him pieces, even though he's been injured. I think they're a great team. They just gotta come together and they gotta be healthy. But this team here with the healthy Zion Williamson, bringing him back, I would see them sitting around maybe 6th or 7th seed in a healthy Western Conference. That means Kawhi, Paul George, all of these people, Steph Curry, Wiseman, all of these people, healthy West Conference, AD, Bron. I still see these guys sitting at a number 6 or 7 because Ingram, his game is advanced to another level. CJ McCollum has thrived in the system with the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion Williamson, when he comes back, is going to be lethal. And then you got the point guard, Alvarado. He's been playing amazing as well at that one guard spot and playing hella defense. So it's going to be great to see. I can't wait. Obviously, again, they're expecting him to get the max deal already, which is a good thing. So don't let people overreact and tell you, no, I'm not giving them a max deal. Like, you got to think of it from a GM perspective sometimes. Sometimes you gotta step outside of your fandom. Step outside of this man's just getting a bunch of money because he's hurt. You got to sometimes look at it like, okay, from a GM perspective, if we put this piece back here from a chessboard, like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, no, I appreciate you hanging with me today. I hope you enjoyed your time. Please be sure to share this with a friend, family member, cousin, brother. I greatly appreciate it. And Thursday's coming up, so stay tuned. Hey, and catch that Warriors game tonight. We'll be giving you the post-game recap tonight. We'll be giving you the post-game recap. We're not going to leave you hanging. But yeah, Thursday's coming up, so we're going to hit you with a question on our Instagram at The Run Podcast or at I Am Manny Wilson, which is my personal. But you'll have to call in, answer the question, or you can leave a random question if you want. The number is 219-413-9405. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Y'all have a good day today. Have a great Monday.